You're walking through a forest 12,000 years ago. No roads, no shoes, just uneven ground, sharp rocks, and branches that don't care about you. Then it happens. A slip. Nothing dramatic. Just enough. Your foot lands wrong and suddenly there's pain. Sharp. Immediate. Real. You look down, your skin is open, blood is coming out. And here's the problem. There's no doctor, no hospital, no medicine, just you and whatever you can figure out before things get worse. Most people think injuries like this would have been a death sentence, that before modern medicine, one bad wound meant the end. But that's not what actually happened, because if it did, humans wouldn't have survived long enough to build anything. Early humans didn't understand the body the way we do today. They didn't know about bacteria, infections, or internal damage, but they weren't clueless. They paid attention. They noticed patterns, which wounds healed, and which ones didn't. Imagine this happening over and over again. Someone gets cut, someone else gets burned, someone breaks a bone, and the group watches. Not like scientists, but like survivors trying to learn what works. They start noticing small things. Certain leaves seem to help. Mud sometimes protects a wound. Ash can stop bleeding. And then there's something strange. Honey. Long before anyone knew why, people started using honey on wounds because something about it worked. Wounds treated with honey didn't rot as fast. They healed better. Today, we know honey can slow bacteria. Back then, they just knew one thing. People who used it survived more often. But here's where it gets interesting. Injury didn't just teach humans about healing. It changed how they live together. Most animals, when injured, don't make it. They fall behind. And falling behind means death. But humans didn't always follow that rule. They stayed, they helped, they carried each other. Scientists studying ancient skeletons found something unexpected. Healed bones, cleanly healed fractures, people who had been seriously injured but lived long enough to recover. That shouldn't be possible alone. Think about a broken leg. You can't walk, you can't hunt, you can't defend yourself. Alone, you die. But these people didn't, which means someone fed them, protected them, waited for them to heal. Most people think care and compassion came later, with civilization, but the evidence suggests something else. Taking care of the injured may have been one of the things that made us human in the first place. But even with care, there was one problem they couldn't control: infection. They didn't know what caused it. They couldn't see it. All they knew was this: some wounds got worse. They smelled. They spread. The person got weaker and then didn't recover. And the worst part, it was unpredictable. Two people could have the same injury. One survives. The other doesn't. No clear reason. No warning. So humans did the only thing they could. They experimented, slowly, over generations. They cleaned wounds, they covered them. Sometimes they did something extreme. They burned them shut. Cauterization, painful, beyond imagination. But sometimes it worked. And through all of this, something else was happening quietly in the background. The body was healing itself, even without medicine. Skin closed, blood clotted, bones fused back together. The body wasn't helpless. It was fighting, constantly. Which leads to a strange realization. Humans didn't survive because they had medicine. They survived because their bodies could handle more than we think, and because they learned just enough to help that process. Even today, most small injuries heal on their own, not because of doctors, but because of biology. We step in only when something goes wrong. So when you think about the past, don't imagine a world where every injury meant death. Imagine a world where survival depended on paying attention, helping each other, and trusting a body you didn't fully understand. Because in the end, injuries were never just about pain. They were about uncertainty, not knowing if you would heal or slowly fade away. And the uncomfortable truth is, even today, with all our knowledge, that uncertainty has never completely disappeared.